All right, good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. 56 minutes after the hour. Hope you guys have had a good morning so far. No, it's still early in the game, right? But what a pretty setup, at least for most of you. Some still have clouds off to the south, but sky condition is improving by the hour. So we'll all have nothing but blue sky to enjoy as we head into the rest of this afternoon. Actually, a good chunk of the weekend looks nice. Some high-level clouds rolling our way. Our focal point will not only be on the nice weather, because everyone seems to think always bring bad news. It's not always bad news I bring, I promise, because we do have a good weekend. But next week I do have bad news, as we have two different and possibly three different features to track as we evolve the next 10 days. And spoiler alert here, go ahead and just let you know, an alert day has already been issued for next week. So a lot to cover in the next few moments. As always, you guys can comment on the social media side. As our YouTubers are already there. ZK, Jason's already on there. Tina, hi Tina. Hello, Blue and Carrie, hanging out as well. Hope you guys are doing well. Good morning, Jacob. T-ball game, Jacob says, for this weekend. Oh man, I would still remember playing T-ball in Highview. I was a Philadelphia Philly there. I think we played at Moore High School in Highview, but I still have my trophy with. It's a baseball player holding a bat, but I dropped it when I was like, I don't know, 12. And so the bat bent. So now it looks like I was a golf champion. So I tell everyone I play golf. At least then I told them that, and I think I still do now. But anyway, I still have the trophy. So T-ball is very important. I'm glad to have nice weather for you there, Jacob. Good morning, Adam from Bloomington. I hope you're ready to go with the extended for sure. Albert is here. Good morning, Albert. And Weather Geek. Happy Friday to you. And hello, Amy. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's get right into it, guys. A lot to cover. So we'll start with the beautiful setup we have in part of the area. Now, I mentioned some still have the clouds. Here's an example down in E-Town. This was completely overcast before the music started for the blog, and it has improved even by the minute. The drier push of air is heading south on the Dixie, and eventually we'll get into our southern counties. Meanwhile, in Louisville, this is what it looks like here in Louisville, where we got nothing but blue sky. Very gorgeous setup. And again, we're on track for a really nice day today. Temperatures could still overachieve in the city. We typically do. Tawana has this in place already for the lower 70s, and I think that's where we're heading as we later on today. All right, so let's talk about the current numbers. 57 in Louisville, 53 down in Bardstown. Slightly milder where the clouds have been your blanket to keep you from dropping as low versus Indiana. You lost your blanket the fastest, so therefore you dropped lower than everyone else did. So kind of split on that, but we'll all balance out later today. You can see the view from space, not a perfectly clear-cut line of that dry air. It's kind of sink into all the valley areas, which is pretty typical for our area of the Ohio River Valley. But you can certainly tell where dry air is punching in, and it will erode all of this as we head into this afternoon. It was part of a front that finally grabbed the upper low that actually started back in Texas. Remember talking about the severe weather and even some mountain snow in the Rockies, a lot of severe weather in Texas. It worked its way to about just southwest of Evansville yesterday. Because it was spinning, it allowed for thunderstorms on the southern side, and the front dropping in allowed for storms in the northern part. And some of our storms were caught in the middle yesterday, especially around downtown Louisville, where those of you around Clarksville, Jeffersonville, some of the gauges coming in about 3/4 to nearly an inch of rain just from that slow-moving cell that popped on the radar, where some of you barely had anything to record in your gauges. So yesterday was a bit of an odd one. You don't often see these upper lows and a cold front diving in from the north like that, combining together. Just gives you an idea of how dynamic the jet stream is. We talked about before with the Omega block that has been happening. The jet is just very amplified. And because of that, these systems, when it gets too amplified, the amount of forcing that is going on from the Pacific Ocean right now, charging from the west, is so strong that eventually just cuts off the low. And that's where we get the term of cut off low, or upper lows like this that do lose their path, if you will. And they kind of just bounce around like playing Plinko. You just don't know exactly where they're going to go. And this front was a clear-cut signal for us that it was going to take the low and push it south. So that guaranteed us the nice weekend. So thank you for the front for doing that. But the front, now located near I-40, between I-40 and I-20, is about to wash out. Once it washes out, nothing has changed now. The storyline is still the same. Very strong jet to the north. Nothing to grab a hold of the low that was down in Texas. So guess what? Just because of the Coriolis effect, it is going to start its journey back to the north again, slowly passing back over us for early next week with another round of showers and thunderstorms. Any severe risk would be found mainly on the southeast side of its spin, almost like you would think of in a tropical system. That's where you have your better potential for isolated severe. But just like yesterday, they will be likely slow moving. You may have different showers moving in different directions just within our 34 counties alone. We may have rain cells and downpours across Indiana moving due west, say down into LaRue County. They may be heading due east. And so therefore, because of the different motions, that will determine really how the rainfall placement will go as well. But in general, high impact from this upper low for next week. No, this is not the reason for the alert day setup. This is what will happen before it. So the upper low, by all means, is in charge next week. If it moves slower than expected, that could mess things up later in the week. But for now, the signal looks pretty strong that we'll be able to at least get it kicked up here to areas not far from the Jersey Shore. All right, so let me explain how we're going to get through that. Let's get into at least the weekend setup, which is a very easy forecast. Thank goodness. We like an easy one. Cool tonight, by the way. We will likely drop in the 40s area-wide tonight, so be ready for that. It'll drop steadily this evening, some lower 40s. I'm not going to say upper 30s right now, and I'm not going to say frost. All right, I don't see that. But it will be a chilly night tonight. Tomorrow, though, here come the high clouds already being pulled off that upper low. Already seeing signs of it. But the moisture is lagging. The moisture that's closer to the ground is still down toward I-20, way to our south, but only the top part gets pulled away, and therefore we see just the top of this upper low, which would be the high thin cirrus, which are still pretty, allow for a pretty looking day. Nice sunsets and sunrises for sure. Not enough to really block much of the sun now, so we'll be able to warm up decently in the 70s as we head into Saturday. And for Mother's Day, good chance for us to continue that warming trend to get us into the 80-degree range, perhaps even warmer than that. Now you start to see some of the fuel right at the very end frame. That is the upper low itself showing up, but that should wait until after Mother's Day to get us in good shape. So I see a lot of your questions about, I have something happening this day and this day as far as the weekend goes. No matter where you're at this weekend, it is going to be nice. It is going to be dry, cool mornings, warm afternoons. That's for all locations. So no matter what you have planned, just keep that theme in mind. Sunday, Mother's Day will be warmer than Saturday will be. But both will look really, really nice. All right. Jacob even asked about the temps here this evening. Again, it'll be a fast drop tonight. Tomorrow will be different because of the increase in clouds. That will prevent a big drop from happening. But tonight, they don't really move in time. So that will lead to likely the coolest, not the coolest we'll see for the rest of the season. I'm afraid to say that with this pattern, but it will likely be the coolest morning we'll have for a while, will be tonight. Okay, so once we get past this upper low and starts to show up there very early on Monday, let me show you how it makes its journey. This is showing how it's really blocking the warm air, right? I mean, it's summer in the front range of the Rockies. Well, a little bit of winter there in the upper Rockies, right? But this upper low is such an expansive cloud shield on it. It just really keeps us from getting cool at night, but it doesn't allow us to get very warm either. So it kind of blocks the sun in many areas, but it will allow for a daily chance. The center of it is kind of wobbling a bit. And that's what we've been trying to figure out. Is it going to be along 65 or will it be closer to I-75? Just depends on which model you want to look at. But those finer details will be worked out on a daily basis. So be patient with us on that. And we'll start Monday, dissecting it, get into Tuesday. I'm thinking at this point, Wednesday should be the day we'll be able to say goodbye to this as it begins its journey to the northeast, heading to the Jersey Shore. But now, he says, we see the bubble of summer that is developing. And this is where things get very dynamic, a lot of movement going on. But for the first time in a while, the jet stream is going to be a little more involved than it has been, trying to dive into at least the Midwest as we head into the end of next week. And we have two phases to this. One will be the warm front that is going to allow for the summer-like temps. To be honest with you guys, some of the models are really trying to fight hard on pushing this to our first 90-degree day next week. It's possible. And Louisville is always an oddball that it may do that. But for those of you away from the city, I think it's unlikely, but at least upper 80s. So warm and a bit on the humid side too. So if you're a fan of this kind of weather, and some of you are, this is going to arrive, I'm thinking right now, Thursday into Friday. The problem with that, as you might suspect, is that is going to provide for a big issue with any type of jet energy and a cool blast of air that tries to get involved to fire up some showers and thunderstorms. And that looks to be the case as we head into Friday, the way it looks now. Could the warm front itself at some point Thursday and Friday fire up some severe weather? It's possible. It moves fairly quick and it looks nocturnal. So I don't think right now we have too big of a worry here on that, but we need to watch it. We need to watch it because there's certainly enough spin going on with that passage to warm front and warm air that there could be a severe threat that could grow with that. But right now we'll keep that on the tamer side. Our confidence is much higher, though, on the push, the cold air itself that will ignite the front. And here's where it fires up. And this is going to be roughly the Mississippi Valley and the Ohio River Valley for late Friday, a week from today, into Saturday. And this, because of the way it's tilted here, it may be a complex, maybe an MCS of thunderstorms. We'll work out the finer details on that, but it'll be rather explosive development in this setup of thunderstorms. And you get that warm, they don't just gradually pop on the radar, they rapidly pop on the radar. So that makes them a little bit more on the stronger side and something we need to watch. But again, a week from today, we need to be on guard for that. It passes on by. We have a slow reset next weekend, but we will likely rebound, and we have a good chance to get another wave very similar to that that will move in around, say, the 20th and 21st, the early parts of that following week. Yes, we can already see out that far. And yes, the severe weather signal is showing up, but it's beyond our 10-day. So we'll hold off on that. Try to be kind to you guys, right? So our main focal point will be what happens a week from today. And the signal is fairly strong. This is a look at all the different analogs. This is the, I know it's hard to read here. This is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday is how you're looking at this. And this is the left column is the SIPS analog. Basically what it's doing is saying, okay, well, in previous times in this kind of a setup, you know, what are odds of getting severe weather? And notice it starts us in the signal. If you can barely see Kentucky there, I apologize. Maybe I need to change my pen. I always try to forget to do that. Hold on. Where is my pen color? Hold on one second. Let's see here. Oh, yes, there you are. Stand by. Stand by. Nobody move. Nobody move. Let's see. What color should I use today, guys? What color should I use today? Let's see. Let's do, red. I'll just do red. I'll do red. That's easy, right? Okay. Let me clear this off. You're all probably yelling at colors right now, aren't you? Let me check. CSU dot. Yeah. I see the CSU dot. Okay. So there we go. This is the left column. This is, again, the analogs. Notice right over wave country is one of the days it's maxed out. That would be the Friday. CSU hints at it. Here's your warm front passage. You can see that little lobe there that moves right into wave country early in the day, and then your severe weather continues to be maxed out as we head into that Friday. So again, there's a little bit of a timing issue on both of these, but they have different time frames they go by. But I want you guys to see the storyline. It ramps up. All right, this ramps up, and that's the key to get us into Friday. And yep, it is maxed out right over the city of Louisville as the greatest severe potential as we get into next Friday. So let me get right into the 10-day, show you that, and you'll see that we've got at least nice weather this weekend. We'll see how warm we can get on Mother's Day. May overachieve there. It's possible. Depends on the thickness of those clouds. Otherwise, early next week, yeah, it's just going to be stormy. Just occasional storms passing through the area. Severe weather potential will take day by day. And then we heat up, and then there we go. The drop happens with the severe weather potential increasing as we head into next Friday. And again, timing on that is going to be a little tough. It could be early day. It could be both early and night. So I got a feeling this will likely change a bit on the placement of the alert day specifics, but at least you guys have the heads up now. And we'll just see how this evolves. I hope it goes away, but right now the signal is just too strong for us to ignore on that. Got a feeling SBC may react to it as early as tomorrow. They may try. Hi, Crispy. How you doing? Good to know. I'm going to be out of town Friday then. Yeah. Well, it's going to be hard to escape it if you want to escape the storms. It's going to be tough because it's going to be region-wide, but at least it will be warm, quite warm. 11 to 80s. Yep, there you go. Adam might have to turn the AC on for the first time. For the first time? I think I had mine on in March. Although I'm one of those people that goes back and forth on furnace and AC. I'm pretty bad about that. Okay. Cameron, I'll get your question that I got to run. Is summer going to be hot and dry? I do think dry is going to be a player. I don't know about hot yet, but I do think dry weather will eventually become a factor. I got a feeling that we will likely reverse all this rain setup in summer, but typically around here, we don't worry too much about drought until the second half of summer. That's pretty far out. But this has been a very dynamic year, guys. 2025 is already one for the books. So who knows what is about to happen this summer. But I will try to, again, work on a summer outlook. I told you guys the other day I'm working on the finer details of that. And that will be coming out soon. And we'll actually do a summer and a little bit of fall, too. No, not a winter outlook yet. You guys know which day to prepare for the winter outlook, right? We'll cover it then. All right, I'm going to stop rambling. I got things to do here. It's 10:11. I'm running behind. So you guys have a good, safe weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there, or moms to be, or thinking of our moms that we lost, all right? So thank you, everyone, this weekend. Have a safe one. God, the weather is going to be quiet and safe for everyone, no matter what your plans are. And don't worry about next week. We'll do all that worrying for you guys. All right, see you soon. Coming up on midday.